Yo, yo, yo! Hey, yo, what's good to all my heroes and villains out there? You know who it is. It's your boy, LC. And guys, welcome to another episode of Heroes and Villains Collectibles. And, yo, hold up. Before we even get started, I want to make sure that the audio is good because we are streaming both on YouTube and Twitch. Audio is... Alright, we good, guys. We good. So just so you guys know, we are live on both YouTube and Twitch. Let me see what's going on with this thing here. Alright. So that being said, let me go ahead and fix this right here. Hold up, guys. You know what I mean? Trying to find a good spot for this. There we go. Alright, guys. That being said, yo, welcome to the episode of Villains Collectibles. I'm your boy LC, and guys, so what we're gonna wind up doing is I actually got a couple of videos lined up. I still haven't seen the Thunderbolts trailer. Yo, what it do, Claire? How's it going? I still haven't seen the the Thunderbolts trailer. I've been busy, guys, with my second channel, The Fresh Point of View TV. The link's in the description. You guys can go ahead and check that out. I've been a little bit out of the loop, you know what I mean, when it comes to my comic book information and my trailer reactions. So I figured, yo, why not just chill, vibe out, you know what I mean? For those of you guys that want to join, yo, do me a solid, smash that like button. It does help out the channel. If you guys are new to the channel, make sure to subscribe. Alright, so. Alright, guys. That being said, let's not go ahead and waste no time. Let's go ahead and jump first. I want to go ahead and check out the Thunderbolts trailer. Still haven't seen it. I even forgot. Like, I was trying to just set up, like, you know, what kind of live stream I'm going to wind up doing today. And then I came up in my feed. I saw Thunderbolts trailer. I'm like, oh, shit. I still haven't even seen this shit. You know what I mean? So let's go ahead and check that out first, you know what I mean? And then I actually have like a Thunderbolts breakdown video that I wanted to go ahead and show you guys. I wanted to check out myself. Also a little bit of story time when it comes to the Sentury. The Sentury is a character they're going to be introducing in the new Thunderbolts movie. And then after that, guys, yo, there's some huge Spider-Man news that I did want to check out. So, yeah, you know what I mean? So let's go ahead and just jump right into it, guys. Once again, smash that like button. If you're new to the channel, make sure to subscribe. Alright, guys, I'm looking here. Error keyframe. Guys, hopefully everything is good in the chat. I only say that because through my studio on YouTube, it's giving me like some kind of error message, but I see that we're still good. You know what I mean? I see that we're still good and we live. So that being said, let's go ahead and jump right into it, guys. This is gonna be the trailer reaction for the Thunderbolts trailer. All right, let's go ahead and check this out. I think the first time they showed was a teaser, right? The first thing that they like a while back, they showed like a little teaser. Or was that like the leak trailer that I seen? I don't even remember. But let's go ahead and check this out. Alright, let's go right here. Bet. Let's do it.
I click leave on porch. Your subordinates will be reported to DoorDash HQ.
Alexi, it's me. Open up.
Milena? Milena!
Hi, Dad.
Sorry about the wait. It was on an important call. Highly classified. Lot of work. Many irons in fire.
You feel fulfilled?
Oh, yeah. Yeah, so full. So filled. But why do you ask this? What brings you here?
There is something wrong with me. An emptiness. I'm just drifting, and I don't have purpose. I thought throwing myself into work was the answer.
Go, girl. Oh, God.
With your feet on the air, your head on the ground.
Ooh. Yo, yes, it is.
Oh no.
Who are you?
I'm Bob.
What?
Who sent you, Bob?
Nobody. You were all sent?
Everyone here has done bad things. Shadow ops. Robbing government labs. Contract kills.
Yeah, so?
So, someone wants us gone. What the hell?
We're brought up with this belief that there are good guys and there are bad guys.
What's the plan?
This could get messy.
But eventually, you come to realize that there are bad guys and there are worse guys and nothing else. Look at you. So adorable.
Don't worry, she's bulletproof. What happened to bulletproof? It's bulletproof-ish.
Is that Bucky?
Yeah.
That's not good.
Oh, snaps. Yo. Hold up, yo. Yo, that is crazy. That is crazy, yo. That's dope. Just so you guys know, that's supposed to be for those of you guys that seen Suicide Squad from DC. This is Marvel's Suicide Squad. So, I mean, some people may die. Like, some of these guys may die. I doubt the Winter Soldier, you know what I mean? But, yo, it's messed up, man, because, like, when you saw Bucky come out with the motorcycle thing, shoot that thing, first thing in my mind was, damn, man, they should have gave him the mask. Remember the mask that he had in the Winter Soldier? You know what I mean? The mask and the sunglasses, and they would have just got off and they shot that thing. That's the first thing I thought about. Yo, that's a dope ass trailer, yo. And then they showed Sentury, which is Bob, Robert Reynolds, aka Bob Reynolds, aka Bob, aka the Sentury. You know what I mean? AKA Marvel's Superman. Okay? So we're about to get Marvel's Superman. So that's how powerful he is. The only one that was able to stop him in the comic books was the Incredible Hulk, and it ended in a tie because Hulk couldn't even stop him. So, hey, but we have when it comes to the Sentury, we do have a little story time origins comic book we're gonna check out, guys. You know what I mean? So, bet. Oh man, that was good, yo. That was a good ass trailer. Yo, what it do, Claire? What you talking? It sounds good. Oh, I like Florence Pugh. Yo, she's badass, yo. Rest in peace, Fear. Do the honor contest. Oh, Fear didn't win that Halloween contest she was doing. That sucks. I didn't know Superman was in Marvel. Yeah, no, You know what's crazy? Yo, you know what's crazy that you say that? There's a scene in I'm gonna see if I can find it here real quick. Only because you say that, right? So Superman is not in Marvel. Superman is DC, right? But you would think let me see. you would think what they did was, let me see, super. Let's see. Okay, yeah, right here. So, what they did was, there's a movie called The Eternals, right? And in that movie, The Eternals, all the characters in there are supposed to be like gods, right? So, in one scene, you know, you have, you know, they one of the characters, you know, he could fly around, right? And then one of the kids says, "Oh man, you're just like Superman," right? So, by him saying that, does that mean now that DC exists in Marvel? You know what I'm saying? So just because you said that, look, I already got it queued up right here, and then we're gonna continue. Check this out. Let's see. Let's see. Here we go. Here we go. Alright, you know what? It's about a minute long. That way you guys can check it out. For those of you guys that haven't seen the Eternals movie, I was just gonna clip it to the little 30 seconds. But for you guys that have not seen the Eternals movie, this is like a minute long. But this is the reference to Superman in the Marvel Universe. You know what I mean? Now, but was he talking about the Superman comic books? Or was he talking about the actual Superman live action? You guys let me know in the chat. Here we go, in the comments. Let's check it out.
Give me a good one.
All right.
All right.
And
Oh, that's great, man.
Oh, yeah.
Oh, nice.
All right, ready? Go.
Oh, so close.
Daddy, watch
Yep.
this.
Okay,
Watch
let me
this.
see. Let me see it.
Dad, I'm only a starter.
Hi.
Hello. Can we help you?
All right.
Hey, Jack. Ben. Hey, guys. These are my friends from college. This is Sylvia and Isaac. That's Isaac.
Dad, that's Superman. Dad, that's Superman.
Jack, it's really funny, Jack.
No,
that is
no,
definitely not Superman.
He is Superman. I saw him on TV. He was in London fighting a monster. And you were with the cape and you were shooting laser beams out of your eyes.
I don't wear a cape.
Oh, sorry.
Okay, well, we should just go inside, right? Can I call you Clark? Is that what you go by now? Because, you know.
You called me worse.
Give me a good one.
All right.
All right.
And
Oh man, so look, there you have it. You know what I mean? That was the reference, because in the movie, that guy, his name is Icarus, and you would think he was like the Superman of Marvel. He flies just like he said in the movie. In the cape, he has a cape and he flies. He shoots beams out of his eyes. So you know what I mean? Now that's the question: was he referencing Superman as a comic book? Or does the DC universe actually exist in Marvel? Guys, you let me know. You know? So, that was the only reference that we have there. Alright, guys. Moving on that one. Hey, check it out. So, the next video that I want to put on here is the Thunderbolts trailer reveal. Explain. Like, okay, so when it comes to the Thunderbolts, in the comic books, it's a whole different team than what they just showed in the trailer. You know what I'm saying? So, what we're gonna do is, we're just gonna get like a trailer breakdown, you know what I mean, for those of you guys that don't know the Thunderbolts or what's happening. So, I wanted to check out one of the videos to one of my favorite sweaty nerd YouTubers, Josh, over at the Den of Nerds. Let's go ahead and check out the video. This is going to be the Thunderbolts trailer reveals explained. The secrets are out. Alright guys, so let's go ahead and check out what he's got to say.
Guys, this one's crazy. We have to talk about all the reveals from the brand new Thunderbolts trailer. A lot of fans and content creators have picked this trailer apart and found all kinds of Easter eggs and secrets. And on top of that, we have comments from insiders that explain some things that maybe you don't know just by watching the trailer. And this includes connections to Captain America Brave New World and the overall setting up of the new Avengers team. Let's start with maybe one of the biggest reveals in the trailer, and that is that this is Avengers Tower. What I'm showing you right now, the scene with all of the Thunderbolts confronting Valentina Contessa, that's Avengers Tower. You can tell because the bar is the same bar that Tony Stark was in front of at the end of the Avengers movie when he has that conflict with Loki, literally saying, like, we have a Hulk. And of course, we know that Tony Stark sold Avengers Tower. That's something that's kind of been going on in the background of the MCU for a long time. We now have an answer as far as who bought the tower, and that would be Val. CIA Director Valentina Contessa, whatever the Val bought the Avengers Tower. Mystery solved. Now, the next thing we got to talk about from the trailer is Bob, our first real look at Bob, aka the Sentury. Now, Bob literally pops out of a container in the room where all the Thunderbolts have that big crazy conflict, and you can literally see, like, he pops out. He was hiding, and then once he reveals himself, that's when all of the doors shut in, closing them all in that room, and then that fire lights up from the ceiling. And interestingly enough, when you look at Bob in the shots where he's confronting all of the gunmen, all of these holes in his suit actually look more like holes from fire or flames than they do bullet holes. There's a bunch of burning or charred edges on these holes. So what I think is happening here is all of these mercenaries are hired by Val to come to Avengers Tower. They then have that confrontation in that room, and then once Bob Reynolds, aka the Sentury, reveals himself, that's when the security measures come down. They lock them in there, and it's all about Bob. They're trying to kill the Sentury. And also, right before the action pops off in that room, Yelena is looking at an open box that has all sorts of clues as far as what Marvel Studios is doing with the Sentury. In this box, you have a bunch of documents, including outlines for something known as the Watchtower. And in Marvel Comics, the Watchtower was where Sentury's headquarters were. And it's like really weird and mysterious because in Marvel Comics, the Sentury was a forgotten hero. He was a hero way long ago. That's why his suit kind of looks more old school than most of the other modern Marvel characters. And the world literally forgets about Sentury. Everybody forgets about him, and then like nobody can see the Watchtower. It's really weird and trippy, but it seems like in the Marvel Cinematic Universe, the Watchtower is the design for a vault, perhaps a vault which was involved in the creation of the Sentury, or just a vault to house the Sentury, to like keep him there. We can also see a document which has different versions of the Sentury's S logo and even different versions of the blonde hair for the Sentury and his costume. So this is crazy. This implies that the Sentury is a completely manufactured character, that this was some corporate controlled thing where they were trying to create this super soldier and make him into like a new Superman. Now, Superman, like, I don't think is really real in the Marvel Cinematic Universe, even though the kid in Eternals talks about Superman when referencing Icarus. I mean, maybe DC exists in the Marvel Universe. I'm not exactly sure, but either way, Sentury is like a Superman.
Didn't I say that before? Didn't I just say that, like, less than 5 minutes ago? You know what I mean? Only the sweaties, you know what I mean, feel that.
Character that they are building, and I mean literally building, like they created him with the serum and then they are manufacturing everything about him. His entire look is manufactured. Now in Marvel Comics, there is a super soldier serum known as the Sentury serum, which Bob Reynolds takes and then he becomes the Sentury, but it's never like fully explained what was in that serum or why it was so powerful. It was just described as like a dialed up version of the super soldier serum. And we know that Val has been interested in super soldiers from all the way back to Falcon and the Winter Soldier, so it's par for the course for her to be involved in building new versions of the super soldier program. And she has also been consolidating power as the head of the CIA and also this leader of the Thunderbolts as she assembles all of these different mercenaries and people together, right? And we see that at the end of the Black Widow movie. So it stands to reason that Val is the person that creates the super soldier serum. And although none of this is fully explained in the trailer, and I don't believe any insiders are talking about how the serum is made, I speculate that that serum will be made from the DNA of the Celestial, of Tiamat, and Tiamat Island appearing and being a big focus of what they're doing in the Captain America Brave New World movie is the perfect opportunity for them to connect the Sentury serum to the Celestial, Val's involvement with the United States government to Brave New World and them trying to get the adamantium out of Tiamat Island. So I think Val will be the person that makes the Sentury, right? And I mean that as like the corporate creation of what the Sentury is supposed to be, and also just literally physically making the super soldier serum, having Bob take it, and then he becomes the Sentury. But because it appears Val wants to destroy Bob and there's all these people shooting Bob,
this movie is going to be really good, really crazy. And look, you see the bullet holes on them, and then now you see them shooting. Like, yo, they can't kill him, just like Superman. Yo, what it do, Big Troy? Shouts out Big Troy, clearing his house. Yo, guys, do me a solid, make sure you guys smash that like. So yeah, this is once again a little explanation when it comes to the Thunderbolts, for what Marvel's doing. Once again, Thunderbolts in the comic books, it's a whole different team, and to be honest, just like Suicide Squad, when it comes to the Thunderbolts, the teams rotate. You know what I mean? But we don't have the same teams right now that we do. You know what I mean? So like, Sentury's not part of Thunderbolts originally. Bucky, the Winter Soldier, is not part of Thunderbolts. You know what I mean? Neither in the comic books. So like, unless they added him now type of stuff. But let's keep going. Shouts out to everybody in the chat, baby. Smash that like.
When he exits that building, I'm going to assume that Yelena and all of these different mercenaries were hired by Val to come to Avengers Tower to either capture or kill Bob Reynolds, aka the Sentury. Now, another thing that's revealed in the trailer is that Bucky is back to being cool again, okay? And there are rumors that Bucky's going to begin the movie as a senator. That's when you see him at the United Nations or at that big party with Val where she has Loki's scepter and a lot of other artifacts that were recovered by Damage Control, which is run by the government now instead of Tony Stark. Remember that in both Spider-Man Far From Home and in Spider-Man No Way Home, we are watching as Tony's assets are sold off and the government takes control of a lot of Stark tech. So it seems like Bucky is working in an official government capacity, but probably just like all of the other mercenaries, he's longing to get back out there into the field. So that's probably why Val recruits him to take over the Thunderbolts. Because I think the Thunderbolt team is going to start by being led by Yelena, and then Bucky will eventually be brought in by Val to take full leadership of the team. And I think that might happen towards the end of the movie. Like, Bucky comes in as the leader late, maybe in the third act, then all of them together then go.
Yo, imagine that scene right there, but with the Winter Soldier mask and the goggles. You know what I mean? I'll be like, oh shit, we got classic Winter Soldier back. But hey, we got Bucky though. We got Bucky. Let me know what you guys think. Mask and goggles or plain face?
After the Sentury, the rumors are they're gonna have a crazy encounter with Sentury, and we will have the Void coming as well. TLDR on that, the Void is like the alter ego of the Sentury, this like really dark force that when combined with Sentury is like one of the most powerful entities in all of existence. When Sentury becomes the Void, it's a problem for like the whole universe. Like, one of the most powerful things in comics, capable of destroying entire universes. Void is bad. But there was a recent tease by My Time to Shine Hello that the asterisk at the end of Thunderbolts actually refers to the new Avengers. And when you combine that with what Alex Perez was talking about with regards to the Avengers in 616 assembling and becoming aware of a big multiversal threat as a way to build up RDJ Doctor Doom, well, it kind of makes sense that between Captain America Brave New World and the Thunderbolts, you would see this new Avengers team be assembled. And what I think will happen is between those two movies, maybe in the post-credit scenes, you will see Sam Wilson and his team of Avengers, which I think might include Bruce Banner's Hulk, maybe even Captain Marvel. Who knows exactly will join up with Sam. But I think that team will link up with Bucky Barnes, Sentury, Florence Pugh's Yelena, and any other members of the Thunderbolts that make it out alive. And honestly, I don't really know how many of those there'll be. But I actually think it's pretty freaking crazy that you're going to have the Thunderbolts connect to Captain America Brave New World, and I really believe that you will get the new Avengers team established basically between these two films. That's kind of cool. Let me know what you think about all these different reveals and the insiders claiming that this will be new Avengers. That's like what the asterisk means there. And as I always say, I hope you are having an awesome and a nerdy day, and I'll see you in the next video.
Yeah. Yeah, guys, there you go. When it comes to the Thunderbolts, that was a pretty good breakdown. Shouts out. Make sure you guys subscribe to Josh, Den of Nerds. Yo, the dude is a sweaty nerd, man. He knows his shit, you know what I mean? Yo, let me know what you guys thought about that right there. The breakdown. Like I said, I am really excited about this Thunderbolts movie. You know it's gonna be dope. You know it's gonna be better than that Suicide Squad movie. And for those of you guys that don't know, Val, the lady that they keep showing, she's the female version of Nick Fury, where Nick Fury was recruiting all of the superheroes. She's recruiting all of the supervillains. You know what I mean? So that's where that's the difference. You know what I mean? She's evil. So let's see here. I haven't even got through regular Avengers now. I have the new Avengers. Hey, be careful because soon you're gonna have the young Avengers. Okay? So be ready for that. Alright? So hey guys. On that one, we're going to go ahead and continue. Yo, let me know in the chat, though, what you guys thought about this one. Your thoughts on the Thunderbolts movie when it comes to the trailer. You guys excited? For those of you guys that are all caught up. And, hey, once again, make sure that you guys check out the Heroes and Villains Collectibles Twitch. I've been doing the Marvel movie marathon. So, the link is in the description. And next Saturday, which is tomorrow we're going to continue. 2 weeks ago we did Iron Man. Last Saturday we did the Incredible Hulk. So tomorrow we will be doing Iron Man 2. So we're continuing it. Every Saturday, one Marvel movie. We're doing the Marvel movie marathon. So yeah, that's how it goes. So let's see. So next Saturday, so tomorrow is Iron Man 2. So then next Saturday will be Thor 1. So yo, it's getting good, guys. It's getting good. So make sure you guys follow us on Twitch. The link is in the description and in the chat. Alright, that being said, let's go ahead and continue, guys. I do have next coming up here. This is a little story time when it comes to the Sentury, okay? This is about the origins of the Sentury. You're like, yo, who the hell the Sentury is? Remember, he also has an alter ego, which is the Void, which is a bad thing. So we're gonna go ahead and check out Comics Explained, so he can go ahead and explain it. And yeah, this is gonna be the origins of the Sentury, guys. So do me a solid, smash that like button. If you're new to the channel, make sure to subscribe. Jeannie, yo, what's up, girl? Right on time. Let's go ahead. This is the origins of the Sentury.
What's going on, guys? This is Rob, and we are back again with another installment of our Beyond Omega Level series, where we cover the most powerful characters in
Smash that like,
and today,
baby!
We're talking about a character that I honestly cannot believe we have not covered on this series before, the Sentury. Now, the Sentury was created by Paul Jenkins and Jay Lee, and first appeared in the Sentury #1, published in the year 2000, as part of Marvel's Marvel Knights initiative, which was basically when Marvel was trying to recover from filing bankruptcy. So they started telling more mature storylines with their characters, but had it published by Jimmy Palmiotti and Joe Quesada's Event Publications because it was cheaper. But the Sentury was introduced to be a Superman analog in the Marvel Universe, and while he is by no means the only Superman knockoff that Marvel has created, he's probably the most popular and well received among fans, although I would argue that either Adam Brashear or Hyperion from Earth 13034 might stand a better chance, or might be a little more popular and more well received. Regardless, the Sentury's real name is is Robert Reynolds, and he was a man who was given a serum that gave him the power of 1,000,000 exploding suns. Now, as one does when they receive such power, Reynolds begins a superhero career as the Sentry and becomes one of the most famous superheroes in the world. Now, when we first see Robert Reynolds in the comics, however, he's a middle-aged and overweight man with no memories of his superhero career. Now, as Robert's memories begin to return, he learns that his arch nemesis, the Void, is returning as well, and he sets out to warn the heroes of the Marvel Universe. Now, upon talking with the various Marvel heroes, they begin to remember the Sentry, as pretty much all of them had worked alongside him at one point or another. Now, as more and more people begin to remember who the Sentry is, it becomes clear why no one remembered him in the first place, because the Sentry and the Void were merely two aspects of one person. And so to prevent the Void from destroying the Earth, Robert Reynolds had a device installed on top of the Avengers Tower, which actually held the Sentry Tower, and used it to wipe the minds of everyone on Earth, including himself, thinking that since the Void existed inside his mind, if he erased his memory of the Void would be powerless. Now later, the Sentry would be seen on the Raft, a prison for supervillains where he has voluntarily committed himself for killing his wife. Now after a prison break, Sentry fights alongside the Avengers, and they soon learn that Robert Reynolds was a virus created by the evil mutant mastermind, and that virus is the reason that the Void exists within Robert Reynolds' brain. It was written by Brian Michael Bendis. Yeah, it was kind of stupid.
But the twist that the movie is doing, if you guys seen in the trailer, when everybody goes to the one room where they start attacking each other, and Bob, the Sentry, is right there, their mission is to kill the Sentry. So that's what they do. Val created the Sentry, and she couldn't control him. So she figured, you know what, let me get these guys to kill the Sentry. They'll kill each other, and then the last man standing, I'll just kill that person. You know? That's how they're going to wind up doing it in the movie.
Bear with me here. Now, after Emma Frost uses her telepathic abilities to heal Sentry's brain, including revealing that he had not, in fact, murdered his wife, he joins the Avengers and resumes his career as a superhero. Now, the source of Sentry's powers are a little bit of a gray area, and what I mean is that there have been different explanations given in different comics. For instance, one explanation of Sentry's powers is that they come from a modified version of the super soldier serum that was used on Steve Rogers, and this modified version is said to be 1,000 times more powerful than the original version. Now, according to another source, the Sentry is actually an alien life force that made its way to Earth and found a host within the super soldier serum that was then administered to Robert Reynolds. But no matter which one of these versions is true, what cannot be denied is Sentry is one of the most powerful heroes the Marvel Universe has ever seen. Of course, Sentry possesses superhuman strength and is one of the strongest superheroes, if not the strongest. He's capable of sinking an island and carrying a shield helicarrier, although he did have help from Wonder Man and Carol Danvers when he was doing that. The Sentry's proven to be stronger than Thor and the Hulk, and was able to lift the dead body of a Celestial and fly it into space, which is crazy when you consider just how absolutely massive Celestials really are. Now, Sentry was also able to rip Carnage apart with no difficulty, and on another occasion broke the axe of Galactus's herald Terrax, which was capable of destroying planets. Now, in addition to his immense strength, Sentry also possesses super speed and is able to fly from the Earth to Saturn in a matter of moments. Now, the Sentry is also insanely durable, taking multiple punches from Worldbreaker Hulk and surviving a nuclear explosion at point-blank range with basically no injuries. And although it is pretty much impossible to harm the Sentry, when he does suffer damage, he can heal from that damage instantaneously thanks to his regenerative healing factor. Now, this healing factor is incredibly powerful, as Sentry has been able to heal his body after it was completely destroyed, and he seems to be incapable of killing himself, as he once tried to do so by flying into the sun, but even that didn't kill him. And this is not the only time the Sentry has come back to life after being killed, so it seems like Sentry is effectively immortal. Now, the Sentry is also able to manipulate matter on a molecular level, and this appears to be the source of all of his other powers, as this is the basis of how the super soldier serum works, by bending the Sentry's molecules an instant into the future. For this reason, he's able to turn matter into basically anything he wants, and one time when the Void was controlling him, the Sentry was able to manipulate the molecules within the Molecule Man Owen Reese, which is absolutely insane because Owen Reese is one of the 3 or 4 most powerful characters in the Marvel Universe if you don't count the cosmic abstracts. Now, because somebody down in the comments is gonna say it if we don't say anything, this was also like post-retcon Molecule Man. So yes, he was weaker than he was in like Secret Wars 2. We have to mention that because someone will say something about that, and I would rather say it before you do, so that if you do say it in the comments section, we can all laugh at you and say Rob already said that. Now, as if it weren't enough already, the Sentury is also capable of absorbing and manipulating vast quantities of energy, often to devastating effects. In one instance, a fight between the Sentury and Photon genus Vel results in multiple planets being destroyed by the energy being expelled. And these guys were not even going all out. The Sentury is also able to emit so much energy that the absorbing man is not able to absorb it all, and it melts him with the power of a million exploding suns. Now, the more energy the Sentury absorbs, the stronger he becomes, and it's suggested there's no limit to the amount of energy the Sentury can absorb, which means that his power is basically limitless, as he's able to absorb energy from practically any source. Now, the Sentury is also a telepath, which explains how he was able to make everyone forget that he existed in the first place, although that was also done with help of a device. And I should point out that not only did Sentury alter the minds of every human on Earth, but he did so to all the Inhumans living on the moon as well. Now, in one of the weirdest aspects of Sentury's story, he subconsciously transfers his memories to the mind of a comic book writer named Paul Jenkins. So Paul Jenkins, Sentury's comic book creator, basically becomes a character in the Marvel Universe that writes comics about the Sentury's adventures since he can remember them. It's weird. It was Brian Michael Bendis. And although he's not usually considered one of Marvel's strongest telepaths, the Sentury was able to resist a mind spell from Doctor Strange, and it took Emma Frost and Charles Xavier working together to penetrate his mind. And even then, Sentury's able to block off things he doesn't want them to see. Now, there are a litany of other powers the Sentury has, like flight, extremely acute senses, teleportation, shape-shifting, invisibility, intangibility, and this has been by no means an exhaustive list of the various feats the Sentury's performed, because we could literally just be here all night talking about them, because he is without a doubt one of the most impressive characters in Marvel Comics in terms of feats. But before we bring this video to a close, I do want to highlight a couple of his most impressive feats, starting with the time that he and Worldbreaker Hulk battled to a stalemate. So, if you're not familiar, Worldbreaker Hulk was, at the time, the most powerful version of the Hulk that we had ever seen, and he was literally steamrolling over pretty much every hero that got in his way. Finally, the Sentury shows up and the two of them fight, with each of them expending so much energy in the battle that they start to revert back into their respective alter egos. And this was when the Sentury was in a weakened state. So if he had been at full strength, there's a good chance he would have beaten Worldbreaker Hulk instead of just stalemating him. The second thing that I want to call attention to is that according to Peter Parker, the Sentury has also battled Galactus to a stalemate. Now, this did happen off panel, but it did make it into the official handbook of the Marvel Universe, so I think we could safely accept it as canon. And I'm sure most of you guys realize how impressive it is for any character to be able to battle Galactus one-on-one and survive, much less be able to stalemate this guy. But yeah, the Sentury is incredibly powerful, definitely beyond Omega level, and I can't believe it's taken us so long to cover him. But with that being said, guys, we're gonna bring this video to an end. Thank you guys for watching, and I will catch you all later.
Hells yeah. Shouts out to Comic Explain. Guys, make sure you guys subscribe to him. Anything you guys want to know about comic books, you can check it out there. Alright? Yo, please, Marvel, please don't F this up. Alright? The Sentury sounds, yo, that's a cool ass character. Cool ass character. Yo, he sounded even cooler than Superman. You know what I mean? The things that he can do, the abilities, I'm like, come on, Marvel, please don't mess it up. We're gonna get the Sentury. Let's just get him, and please don't fuck this up, okay? So, hey guys, let me know in the comments what you guys thought about that. There you go, the origins of the Sentury. If you didn't know, now you know. Alright, so comment below, let me know what you guys thought about that one. Alright, so, alright, with that down, guys, we're gonna go ahead and move it on. Now, we do have some, what is it? Some more Marvel news. We got some Spider-Man news, and then we have some Wanda news. Okay? So, those of you guys that don't know, the Agatha Agnes show is already out. So, I mean, it's pretty good. 3 episodes. I'm 3 episodes in. The show's pretty good. And she came from the WandaVision show. And we all know Wanda, the Scarlet Witch, from the Avengers movie. So, spoiler alert, we know that, you know, she dies, supposedly, at the end of her movie. But, I guess not, right? So, this is more news. For those of you guys that want to know more and love the Scarlet Witch, we're going to go ahead and jump into it. We're going to go ahead. We got one more video when it comes to Josh over here at the Den of Nerds. Let's go ahead and check it out. Set it up. So we got some Wanda news, guys. Shout out to everybody in the chat. Jeannie, I love you, girl. Alright, let's set this up. Alright, so here we go. This is going to be the Kevin Feige's plan for Wanda. Okay, these are supposed to be leaks. Alright, so let's go ahead and jump right into it, guys. Here we go.
Marvel fans, this one's crazy. I did not expect this. A massive new report is out there about Kevin Feige's plan for Wanda Maximoff, aka the Scarlet Witch. We've got a confirmation of the solo Scarlet Witch movie. There's apparently 2 more shows happening with Wanda, and Wanda is confirmed to have a massive role in Avengers Doomsday and Avengers.
That does not sound like a character that died in the Marvel movie. What movie was it? Doctor Strange, you know what I mean? That does not sound like a character. She got 2 more. She's gonna be in. Alright, hell, let's just keep going. Let's see. Let me check out the chat. How are you liking the show? Hey, the show is good, guys. Agatha, what is it? Agatha All Along. Make sure to check it out. It's real good. They got 3 episodes out right now. It's really good. But we'll talk about that towards the end.
Secret Wars and in the Mutant Saga. And in this video, I want to go over all of that. And I will also draw from different things we've heard in leaks and rumors or comments that insiders or actors have made. This is pretty crazy. This is a massive amount of content being built around the Scarlet Witch. I think that's a good move, and I'll also explain why as we go through all of this. So check out this tweet here from My Time to Shine Hello, and we're going to focus on the first part of the tweet first. She says Marvel Studios has big plans for Wanda/Scarlet Witch, which include a solo movie, 2 more WandaVision spin-off series, and we'll talk about the second half in a minute. But let's just focus on the first half here. The movie and 2 more shows. And this is another piece of evidence that confirms a solo Scarlet Witch movie. This has long been rumored, but it was spoiled by Production Weekly a couple of months ago. And then insider Daniel RPK was talking about the solo Scarlet Witch movie as well, saying that it will probably go into production in 2026. And so what Shine is saying here is that is absolutely real, and it is a part of this big plan that they have for Wanda. And frankly, guys, I think this is cool. I also think the timing on this is great. Right now, the Agatha show is on, and that clearly has something to do with Billy. And
all right, guys, check it out. That's the show. This is part of the Agatha show, right? And then this kid right here in the show, they call him the teen, because when he says his name, it gets like a marker, so nobody knows his name. I say this is Billy, Wanda's son. You know what I mean? Wanda's son in the comic book is Wiccan. Wiccan has the same powers as Wanda, except as Wanda has the whole pink lights, his is blue, but he got the same powers as his mama. This, I'm telling you, this is Billy, aka Wiccan, Wanda's oldest. Well, she has twins, so but there we go.
And Wiccan and Wanda herself. And Elizabeth Olsen recently started doing interviews where she's talking about Wanda Maximoff, talking about the Scarlet Witch once again, suggesting that she would be open to returning. And so what it seems like is the WandaVision show is feeding into the Agatha show, which will then feed into the Vision Quest show and the Wonder Man show. And that's all likely to build to some stuff that will be explored in the Wanda Maximoff Scarlet Witch movie. I also wanted to bring up that it seems like this movie is going to be a battle world film, meaning this will be a film that takes place between Avengers Doomsday and Avengers Secret Wars, and the setting of this movie is likely to be on Battle World, or at least not in the regular 616 MCU. And the only thing we know about that Scarlet Witch movie is that she's likely to be fighting Chthon, the first demon, and I think a lot of the stuff that's happening in these different shows surrounding the Darkhold is going to build up towards that, and it will also be a way for the Wanda character to regain her agency and kind of redeem herself, right? Because we all know the Darkhold corrupted her in Multiverse of Madness, but they could put a really fine point on that and have the audience understand that further via this actual Scarlet Witch movie. And also, if Wanda is supposed to play a big role in Doomsday and in Secret Wars, which I think will be connected to magic and Doctor Doom's knowledge of magic, well, if that is the case, then the Scarlet Witch Battle World movie is much more than filler. That's going to be a very important film, and I'm starting to get the feeling that these Battle World movies are going to be a huge freaking deal. But now let's talk about the shows, right?
All right, before we get to the shows, yo, it's gonna be a big deal. We're gonna get a lot of Wanda, and yo, let's see. Talking about the Agatha show, let's see. Jeannie says it was confirmed Funko Pop effed up and spoiled it. Okay, so yeah, so Teen is Wiccan. Guys, check this out. For those of you guys in episode 3, right? They asked the witches ask his name again, right? And then he says his name for all the witches to hear. If you think about the name, and so I'm telling you, when he says his name, think about he's saying the name Billy. His name is Billy, a.k.a. Wiccan, right? But he can't even say Billy. He can't say nothing, right, when it comes to his name. But go back to when he's talking to the witches and just imagine him saying the name Billy. Literally, he says you see him say the B before the whole scribble, and he's gonna end it with the Lee, with the Y. I'm telling you. I went back on that video. I'm like, yo, he says Billy. He's saying Billy. Just watch, go back and just watch it. Envision him saying Billy. The name Billy. You're gonna be like, yup, that's Billy. He's saying Billy. I'm telling you, I promise you.
Shine says there are 2 more WandaVision spin-off shows, and she later clarified that these are beyond Vision Quest and Wonder Man. And this seems to have something to do with the big plan that they are building up for the Scarlet Witch, and so these shows are going to further flesh out aspects of her character or perhaps aspects of her power. And these are shows that will probably have Elizabeth Olsen in them. I mean, we don't really think she's going to show up in Agatha or Vision Quest or Wonder Man, although she is going to be a large part of the plot and the motivation for the characters in those shows. But if these 2 new shows are spin-offs of WandaVision and they're important for the overall plan, then I think Wanda's going to be involved. And another reason that I think these shows will be like a bigger deal with Elizabeth Olsen is because Marvel's trying to shift away from what they did in Phase 4 with shows. I think Daredevil Born Again, X-Men 97, and Loki Season 1 and 2 are more of the format that Marvel wants to do, right? They really want these well thought out shows that are very involved and kind of more like a conversation than a movie that is adapted to the television or streaming format. Now, as far as what shows these could be, my first guess would be a children's crusade or young Avengers show. We've known for some time that Kevin Feige wants to build up the young Avengers, but we also know that a lot of the things that were supposed to build those characters up were not very successful. This being like the Ms. Marvel show, the Marvels movie, even the Hawkeye show, like just we were not really actually getting the success, and so that whole Young Avengers thing seems to be in flux. A lot of insiders are saying it is still going to happen, but I think you could see Kevin Feige and Marvel Studios take what was maybe going to be a movie and turn it into a Disney Plus series instead. Especially because a lot of the Young Avengers comic book plots do surround Billy and Wiccan and basically their connection to the Scarlet Witch. And frankly, I think involving Wanda and having it really focus on her and magic, that's a great idea. So maybe it will be a Young Avengers show. I also think there's a chance here that it's connected to the mutants, right? Because we could see these shows take place after Secret Wars and be basically set in the new MCU, because of course there are major rumors that the MCU is going to sort of soft reboot after Secret Wars, and essentially the canon of 616 will be changed so that mutants, X-Men, Fantastic Four, Spider-Man, and the Avengers all exist within the same universe. And maybe because Wanda plays this major role in Secret Wars, she will be one of the characters that actually remembers the old universe, and maybe that will have something to do with this series and mutants and the fear that mankind has of mutants in that show. Or maybe it'll just be a show that's kind of Loki style, where they'll give her something crazy to do outside of the canon, and it's just really going to explore her character in the same way that they did Loki. A lot of mystery, a lot of possibilities, and I'm frankly excited to see what these shows are going to be. I expect them to be way cooler than like Echo, Agatha, and Ironheart, and you know, even a lot of the other shows that they did for Disney Plus. Okay, but now let's talk about the back half of the report, the back half of the tweet from My Time to Shine. She says, in addition to the spin-offs and the Scarlet Witch movie, she will have a major role in the next Avengers films and the Mutant Saga. And oh my god, this is really exciting to hear. I think after WandaVision, many of us Marvel fans thought that Wanda was going to be big time important for Secret Wars. She was going to be the Molecule Man or something like the Molecule Man. And although now it seems like they're going to go in the direction of anchor beings instead of whatever the Nexus beings were, I'm still really excited that Wanda's going to have a big role in the next two Avengers movie. That could mean that it would be our Wanda or variants of Wanda, perhaps many different variants of Wanda's, because we've already seen some in the Multiverse of Madness. And I think this will be connected to Doctor Doom. Doctor Doom is very powerful with magic, and in fact, I have a kind of theory here that would make it so the RDJ Doctor Doom variant was actually in love with a Scarlet Witch from his universe, and then that Scarlet Witch is taken away or destroyed by some multiversal power because, of course, Wanda is crazy freaking powerful, and maybe that's a thing that like sets RDJ Doctor Doom on a crazy rampage, because that would be a great way to build emotional connection between RDJ's Doctor Doom and our Wanda Maximoff if she comes back to life. I also have this theory that some beings in the universe will essentially become embodiments of the Infinity Stone. So Loki in God of Stories Loki seems to be the embodiment of the Time Stone, and Wanda with her chaos magic, especially when using the Darkhold, seems to embody the Reality Stone as far as reality warping power. So if Marvel is going in a direction of actually bringing infinity beings to the MCU to fight against RDJ's Doctor Doom, then Wanda Maximoff as the reality being, perfect. I also still have this feeling that Secret Wars itself will see Wanda in some big role, very important to defeating Doctor Doom, and that is probably why her solo movie will be so important for setting that up. Basically, there are all sorts of ways that the Scarlet Witch could be used very effectively and in a very interesting way for both Avengers Doomsday and Avengers Secret Wars. But it is the last part of this scoop that gets me the most excited, and that would be that Wanda is supposed to have a major role in the Mutant Saga. So if you didn't know this,
hey everyone, interrupting your research with huge news.
Is it the new iPhone 16 Pro?
The plan for Kevin Feige and Marvel is to actually have the next saga after the Multiverse Saga be the Mutant Saga. And this will show the mutants as a big cornerstone of this big epic arc. And of course, we will get the buildup of the...
Yo, who's ready for the Mutant Saga in Marvel's hands? Who's ready for the mutants to come in? Let me know in the comments. It's going to be crazy. We're going to have the mutants with the... Yo, there's talk that we maybe see Avengers versus X-Men movie. I want to see that. I want to see the Avengers versus X-Men.
The X-Men and maybe other mutant teams on 616. I think you might even see a scenario in which they don't do Avengers movies for a while and instead are doing X-Men movies. And that's the big franchise, the big team that we're going to follow different MCU stories through. But I also think the plan will be to set the mutants on a big cosmic crazy journey, probably fighting against the Celestials and the Eternals. There are long-standing rumors that Kevin Feige and Marvel Studios wants to build up a scenario that's similar to the Judgment Day event that recently happened in Marvel Comics. The TLDR here was this was an event that showed that the X gene mutation was actually a version of the deviant gene mutation. And that meant that all mutants were essentially deviants and therefore the enemy of the Celestials and the Eternals. And so bringing Wanda into that kind of a scenario is really interesting. Wanda will be very powerful, most likely, and perhaps in the soft reboot she will actually be the daughter of Magneto, and that will actually be important to the canon as well. Like, I love that aspect of Wanda, so I'm hoping we get to see that too. Wanda's children being mutants could be a really interesting part of either a Young Avengers series or just some kind of major conflict in which, you know, the United States or the Sentinel program or something wants to come after her kids. Frankly, I just think Wanda's a great character. I think Elizabeth Olsen is awesome as the character, so I'm super excited that we're gonna get a lot more of her building up to Secret Wars and then even beyond it in the soft rebooted MCU. Who knows? Maybe this will actually explain the Ralph Boner situation. Maybe there's something more going on with Wanda and the mutants and why there's none in the 616 or something like that. Either way, these are massive updates. If you are a fan of the Scarlet Witch, if you are a fan of Elizabeth Olsen in the MCU, then you should feel pretty good about this one. Let me know your thoughts in the comment section below, and as I always say, I hope you are having an awesome and a nerdy day, and I'll see you in the next video.
There we go. Shouts out to Josh over there, Den of Nerds. Yo, guys, let me know in the chat what you thought about that. Listen, I love Wanda. I love Wanda, yo, man. Wanda's been through some shit, man. Her brother died, you know what I mean? Then she was stuck with all this power, you know what I mean? It became evil. She lost her kids, you know what I mean? So they're gonna have to redeem her, you know what I mean? So I am really excited that she's coming back, guys. I'm really happy about that one. Shit, I even read the comic book, the House of M, when she literally imagined her kids. She thought she had her kids, and Professor X is like, yo, your kids weren't real. You know what I mean? So I am really happy about this. We're gonna get some Wanda news. Guys, let me know. And like you've seen right here, they did show you Speed, they did show you Wiccan, which are Wanda's kids. They are a big part of the Young Avengers. Like, you can't do a Young Avengers movie without Speed and Wiccan. You can't. You know what I mean? So that's gonna be interesting. So you gotta have them before we have. So, oh, and last thing I wanted to say. So in the Agatha, I'm telling you, this is Billy that they're introducing, right? Now, word is that Speed, remember, she has two twins. She has Speed and Wiccan. So we have Billy, that is Wiccan, came out in the Agatha show, and then supposedly that in the Vision Quest, in the Vision show, that's where we're gonna see Speed, the other son, which is them, Billy and Tommy. Tommy is Speed. So we're gonna see Tommy in the Vision show, like we saw Billy in the Agatha show, and then eventually they're gonna find each other, and then I guess find their mom. Wanda will find them. It's gonna be crazy. I'm telling you, it's gonna be good. So look forward to seeing Tommy, aka Speed, in the Vision show. Alright, so alright guys, with that down, that being said, let's go ahead and continue with the next video. Yo, now the next video is gonna be good. I got 2 more videos, and they're gonna be huge. Yo, they're huge, okay? Spider-Man news, okay? Huge Spider-Man news. We definitely gotta check it out. I have not seen them yet, but I'm really excited, man, because the titles alone, and yo, the Cosmic Wonder has never let us down, okay? So let's go ahead, without further ado, let's go ahead and check this out. Yo, check it out. Once again, smash that like. If you guys are new to the channel, make sure to subscribe. Alright? And yo, real quick, man. Yeah, I got it right here. Boom. You know what I'm saying? Bow. We are ready to go. We is ready to go. Let's see here. But you know what? In the words of Deadpool, We gotta give him a shout out.
Get your spectral sock out, nerds. It's gonna get good.
Oh yeah. Alright guys, it's gonna get good. Let's go. Last 2 videos. Alright? So let's do it. Shouts out to the Cosmic Wonder.
So it looks like it might actually be possible that the Sony Spider-Verse is done. Could Sony have finally figured out that their Spider-Man adjacent universe that doesn't actually involve Spider-Man, just Spider-Man characters, isn't working? It simply doesn't work without Spider-Man. But could they have also realized that Marvel Studios does Spider-Man better than they do? It looks like that might actually be the case, and we are looking at the end of the SPUMC, the SSU, whatever you want to call it. The Sony universe of Spider-Man could be coming to an end, and the way that they might be planning on doing that is actually quite brilliant. And really what it is simply a fusion into the MCU. The Sony universe and the MCU might actually become one in the same, and the Sony universe could basically be grabbed and wrapped into the MCU. This is essentially what they have done with the X-Men universes with Deadpool and Wolverine. All of those universes are now canon. All of the X-Men universes, they are in the MCU. They are in the MCU's multiverse. They're not in the same universe as our main one, the 616 Sacred Timeline, but they are a part of the multiverse, making them a part of the MCU. But the questions are, why is this happening and why now? Well, what's interesting about this is that Marvel and Sony have recently been meeting up to talk about Spider-Man. We know this from a couple of different insiders like My Time to Shine Hello and Daniel RBK. And My Time to Shine Hello even states that we're getting 2 more additional Spider-Man films than what was previously planned. If that report ends up being true, then Sony is giving Marvel Studios more Spider-Man, which we love to hear. And
My creator has found us.
what's his name? No. We've also heard that Spider-Man is going to pretty much be kind of the face of the MCU moving forward, at least one of the main faces, and not just in the multiverse saga, not just leading up to Doomsday and Secret Wars, but even after Secret Wars, where we get the X-Men and the Fantastic Four and everybody basically in the same universe. And it sounds like in that same universe, Venom is going to be a part of it, as well as other Spider-Man villains that Sony has the rights to that they might let Marvel use. And the reason being for that is what I mentioned in the beginning. The Sony Spider-Man universe might be destroyed and done for good, at least for now. And I gotta say, if this actually happens, good for you, Sony. Clearly what they have been trying to do hasn't really worked. The only thing that was really successful was Venom. And even most people think, yes, they are fun movies, they are good movies, but they're not the most fantastic movies in the world.
So we're not gonna have no more Sony movies, just Marvel taking over the Sony movies. I love that idea.
They're a great time. I really enjoy watching them, but they could be better. And of course, we want Spider-Man and Venom together, which is what we could be getting for Spider-Man 4, because it seems like some pretty big negotiations are taking place right now, or have just recently taken place, for what Spider-Man 4 is going to be. I know a lot of people have been following, but if you haven't, Sony wants Spider-Man 4 to be a big multiversal film, and Marvel Studios wanted it to be kind of grounded. However, given the fact that Spider-Man 4 is most likely going to take place after Avengers Doomsday, it kind of just makes sense continuity-wise for the entire MCU right now for it to be a multiverse story. There are some rumors going around right now, and they are just rumors. This is not confirmed yet. Just want to be clear on that, but there are some insiders who can kind of back this up a little bit, but we'll get to that in a bit. But the rumors and the rumblings that we've been hearing recently are that the last Venom film, The Last Dance, is indeed going to be the last Venom film, but it's also probably going to be the last film of the Sony Spider-Man universe. In a way, don't get me wrong, I believe Kraven the Hunter is still coming out after it, but after that movie, that should be it. But Venom should lead to the destruction of the Sony Spider-Man universe, and the way that they're going to do this will tie into the MCU in a really big way, and it will really tie into the multiverse saga relatively smoothly. In fact, I think if this happens, it's actually an incredible idea. And here's the idea.
We know that Null, the symbiote creator, the symbiote god, the entity that has literally killed Celestials before, is going to be the main villain of Venom 3, The Last Dance. And with that, a lot of people have been stating that they don't really see how Venom and Eddie are going to be able to take on Null. He should, in theory, be way more powerful than them. And this is where it gets really interesting. Some insiders, like Alex Perez from thecosmiccircus.com, have stated that Null and Venom are actually going to make their way to the MCU after this movie, with the end of this movie setting it up. Then in Spider-Man 4, Venom and Spider-Man are going to fight together to fight against Null.
Hell yeah.
Now that sounds pretty cool right away, Venom and Spider-Man fighting together, and that's originally all we heard, but now we are hearing a little bit more, that at the end of Venom 3, Null will actually destroy the entire Spider-Man universe and actually cause an incursion, and the Sony Spider-Man universe will go away, effectively making it a part of the multiverse story, and perhaps in Secret Wars some remnants of the Spider-Man universe will be left over and become a part of Battleworld. That is essentially what is going to happen at the end of Venom The Last Dance. Some remnants, aka Venom and Null, of that universe will end up in the MCU. And this has a lot of people thinking that this could be finally the merger between Sony and Marvel Studios, the merger between the SSU and the MCU. And Null could be the catalyst for that change, as he has abilities to travel and influence multiple universes throughout the multiverse. And what's really interesting is that there is a way, a specific way, and a specific reason why Tom Hardy's Venom would actually flee to the MCU, and this does kind of make the post-credit scenes that we've seen for Venom Let There Be Carnage and Spider-Man No Way Home make a little more sense. In the post-credit scene for Venom Let There Be Carnage, Eddie Brock and Venom found themselves in the MCU. Then in Spider-Man No Way Home, they kind of slapped us in the face and returned them to the Sony Spider-Man universe, but left a remnant of the symbiote behind. And now some speculation is that the hive connection that all the symbiotes share could be how Venom and Eddie end up going specifically to the MCU, because they will share that hive connection with a piece of that Venom symbiote that was left in the MCU. If that is the plan, that is a pretty good plan. I will give them that. And this seems to be the work of both Marvel and Sony if this does actually happen. It works on a lot of different fronts. For example, Null destroying the Sony Spider-Man universe and essentially becoming a multiversal threat works for the MCU as well, since that's what we're going to be dealing with. Big multiversal threats. And we already know that in the multiverse saga, there are going to be more than just one threat. For example, of course, we know Doctor Doom is going to be a threat to the multiverse, but at the same time, we know incursions are huge threats to the multiverse as well. And then if they go down the route of the Beyonders trying to destroy the multiverse as well, that is a whole other threat. And maybe, just maybe, they might kind of mention Kang and close off his story. So adding Null as another multiversal threat makes sense for the MCU currently right now. Continuity-wise, it works. And this is actually a really cool way of bringing the Sony Spider-Man universe into the MCU, but kind of the Earth of that universe being destroyed. However, it accomplishes what fans have really been wanting for forever now, and that is Marvel Studios controlling the characters that Sony owns. Yes, they can do this and Sony can still own the characters, but Sony can still make a lot of money with these characters appearing in the MCU. You've probably heard me mention that.
This thing?
Hell yeah.
It's what's going on inside of me.
Hell yeah.
It's my moderate to severe ulcer.
Not a lot, but I do believe that is the solution to everyone's problem. Marvel simply gets the rights to use these characters in the MCU. They don't own the characters, they simply get the rights from Sony to use them, just like they're doing with Spider-Man in the MCU right now. Sony still owns the rights to Spider-Man, but they worked out a deal to use him in the MCU. This is essentially what we could be looking at, but for every character, every Spider-Man character that Sony owns. We could be looking at some amazing future Spider-Man stories, all done by Marvel Studios. And what could have happened is when Sony and Marvel were meeting, Kevin Feige might have again said, hey, your Spider-Man stuff, it's not working. You need to let us do it. If you don't know that original story, Amy Pascal called Kevin Feige and asked him for help when they were trying to make The Amazing Spider-Man 3, which was again supposed to be Andrew Garfield. But Kevin Feige came into the meeting and he said, it's not gonna work. you need to let me do it. You need to let Spider-Man be a part of the MCU. And at first, Amy Pascal, who was friends with Kevin Feige, who had worked with him for a while, was super mad. She asked him to leave, but she thought about it a lot. Eventually, they met up again and she agreed. That's what needs to happen. And if these rumors are even partially true, then I want to assume that that is something that has recently happened again. We know that Sony has been meeting with Marvel a lot about Spider-Man 4. I really would not be surprised if Kevin Feige at some point in time in all of these meetings said, hey, you know what? We need Venom. We need Null. We need all of the Spider-Man characters. Let us do it. Let's do the same thing that we do with Spider-Man. License us the characters, you keep the rights, but we can use them in the MCU. You make money, we make money, but we do the stories better, so everybody wins. Sony wins, Marvel wins, the fans win. And hopefully, that's what we're looking at here. And I would love that, and I really hope if that is presented to Sony, that is something they deeply consider. And if these rumors are even remotely true, sounds like that's what they might do. And I do think Null destroying the Sony universe would be kind of epic. But go ahead and let me know your thoughts about all of this in the comments down below. Please don't.
Hell yeah. Guys, that was
Get your special sock out, nerds. It's gonna get good.
Oh yeah, Deadpool. Hey, it was good. It was good. Hey, check it out, guys. Shouts out to Warren over there at the Cosmic Wonder. Yo, let me know what you guys thought about that. No more Sony movies. No more Sony Spider-Man movies. No more Sony Venom movies. No more nothing. Only Marvel will handle the movies. Let me know what you guys think about that. No, yo, that's an awesome idea. That's an awesome idea. You're bringing in No, just have him destroy. Like I said, they're destroying universes, right? Bet. That's the perfect idea. Have No destroy the Sony universe. And boom, done. You know what I mean? And then when everything gets reverted back to just one universe, everybody's in the 616. And then we got, and then we could use yo, you know how important that is to use all of the Spider-Man characters? Because we can intertwine now you got all the Marvel characters that are just, man, awesome news. Awesome news. I'm really excited about that one. So, no more Marvel movies. No more Sony movies, only Marvel. So that means that Venom and Carnage, Venom and Kraven the Hunter will be the last two Marvel Sony movies that are left. You know what I mean? So, that's where we're at. Whoa, that's good, guys. That's good. But yo, comment below. Let me know what you guys thought about that. I want to know your thoughts. If you guys are excited about that. If you're excited as much as I am. Finally, Marvel will take control and Sony will just get paid. That's it. Alright, comment below. Let me know what you guys thought about that. Alright? So, that being said, guys, we're going to go ahead and move down to the last video. Once again, this one is going to be coming from Warren, the Cosmic Wonder. This is regarding the Spider-Man 4 news. Once again, we got Spider-Man 4 coming. Like I said, supposedly the deal is Sony wanted Marvel to help them make the Spider-Man 4 movie huge. And then once they do it huge, then they can use Spider-Man however the hell they want. You know what I mean? But they said, yo, please help us with this one. Help us hit 1 billion. You know, we're going to bring Venom into Spider-Man 4. With Spider-Man, you're going to have Null. So, you know what I mean? He's like, please help us make this movie. And if you make this movie with us, then you can keep Spider-Man and have him do as many movies as you want. But we'll still get paid. That's the deal. So, let's go ahead and, let's see what Warren has to say. Alright? Once again, smash that like. Subscribe if you're new. Without further ado, let's go ahead and jump into the video.
What is going on, everybody? Welcome back to the channel. We have a lot more Spider-Man updates today, specifically about the release date for Spider-Man 4 and the new deals and negotiations that are happening right now between Sony and Marvel. If you didn't catch our video yesterday, you should know that it looks like Sony might kind of be putting an end to their Spider-Man universe. This has not yet been confirmed, but with what we are hearing about the deals that are right now being negotiated between Sony and Marvel Studios, it looks like that is a possibility. But there is one pretty big change that we are hearing about, and it involves a lot of Marvel characters that Sony owns the rights to currently. However, it looks like this new deal is going to be extremely beneficial for the MCU and Marvel Studios, and for the fans as well. Now, of course, both of the studios are just that. They're studios. They're huge companies. And of course, they want to make money, but a part of me really does want to believe that when Sony and Marvel get together, they do also talk about what the fans want. It's probably more Kevin Feige talking about that more than anybody, but if what we've been hearing about this new deal is true, then it works out for literally everybody. Sony can make more money, Marvel Studios can use more characters in the MCU, which will in turn excite the fans and make them happy. So let's dive into what this new deal is apparently going to be. It starts with a rumor from the account The Geeky Cast, who is a new scooper, so take this with a grain of salt, but we do know that negotiations are happening right now between Sony and Marvel, and some other insider reports apparently back up this rumor, which is why we're talking about it. But the rumor is, put very simplistically, Marvel Studios will eventually be able to use the villains that Sony...
Just found this unbelievable sequin dress on eBay from a seller who's probably a Vegas showgirl. So many good deals. Had to get these vintage disco pants too. Then I was craving something sporty, found these in a sick cherry red, authenticated and everything. Thanks, Ken. I'm obsessed. Then I sold a pair of velvet flares to like a desert goth in Nevada. Cause last year I was a Victorian vampire, but now I'm all grunge and glitter. Yeah, eBay. It's the place for new, pre-loved, vintage, and rare fashion.
Check out these deals of the week at Walgreens.
Sony uses in their SUMC, whatever you want to call it. They can use them in the Marvel Cinematic Universe eventually. Now, the old deal from what we know was pretty much if Sony used somebody in their universe, Marvel Studios couldn't touch it. We know that originally Kraven was wanted for Spider-Man No Way Home. He was supposed to be the 6th member of the Sinister Six. Instead, we got a Sinister Five, and it was revealed that Sony said, no, you can't use Kraven because we're using Kraven. Now, of course, we don't know all of the intricate details of whatever deal Marvel and Sony struck for Spider-Man to be in the MCU, but this is reportedly how the new deal is going to go down, at least a part of the new deal. According to the report, apparently Sony will now start notifying Marvel Studios about which Spider-Man related villains will be used in their non-MCU projects. Marvel will then be blocked from using that character until at least 30 days after the Sony movie is released on VOD, video on demand. So this is actually good, even though it kind of sounds bad because it says they're blocked from using a character until 30 days after it releases on video on demand, but this is actually a very good thing. This means that even if Sony uses some characters, uses villains in their universe, that means Marvel Studios can still use them. They are not completely blocked from using them altogether, they just have to wait a little bit, which I guess is relatively fair. If Sony puts out a movie with a certain character, they don't want that movie to be overshadowed by a big MCU project that is going to be using the same character. The MCU definitely overshadows Sony and their Spider-Man adjacent universe, so I can understand that. But at the same time, at least Sony is playing ball and they're allowing Marvel to eventually use the characters, and this seems to be what is happening with Venom and Null. Alex Perez from thecosmiccircus.com, a very credible insider, has reported that Sony and Marvel Studios have worked together, and apparently in Spider-Man 4 we are going to get Venom and Null in the MCU. And based off of the release dates for everything, this all seems to line up with this new reported deal. But to talk about that, we do have to talk about a new report from Alex Perez at thecosmiccircus.com that states the Spider-Man release date has moved. According to his report, it's been delayed, but don't worry, it hasn't been delayed by that much. He stated on Twitter, originally, the set date for Spider-Man 4 is delayed. As of this moment, the film has been moved to July of 2026. Now, there's actually two ways to view this release date change. One is that it's only been delayed a month. According to insider Daniel Richman, Marvel Studios is planning on releasing Spider-Man 4 in June or July of 2026. And now, according to Alex Perez, it is indeed moved to July 2026. But originally, Sony had on their release date slate an untitled movie that was a Sony/Marvel live action film. That's what they listed it as, and that was supposed to be June of 2025. Now, obviously, that's not going to happen, but if that was the original release date planned for Spider-Man 4, then that means the movie has been delayed a year. However, since a lot of insiders have already stated we should probably expect it in June of 2026, July 2026 really isn't that big of a deal. And although it's possible the movie gets changed again or gets delayed a little bit, it's probably not going to happen because they have a while, but they are still negotiating everything, and we know from past experiences that Sony and Marvel don't always see eye to eye. I mean, a few years ago, we almost lost Spider-Man from the MCU. Now, everything is good though, but it seems like they're just kind of finalizing the details of this new deal. What we've heard recently is that Spider-Man, Tom Holland's Spider-Man, is going to actually get 2 more movies in the MCU, and his character specifically is going to be a lot bigger than he originally was going to via the old Sony Marvel deal. And it sounds like, at least post Avengers Secret Wars, we could finally be getting the Spider-Man stories that we deserve. I'm not saying that everything that has happened already was bad, because it definitely wasn't, but now, according to the rumored new deal of Sony and Marvel with the villains, Marvel will eventually be able to use essentially whoever they want. If this new report is true, that means villains are open to Marvel Studios now. They can use Spider-Man villains, including Kraven. Yes, Kraven is getting his own movie, but if this new deal is true, then after the movie releases on video on demand and streaming, 30 days after, Marvel could drop him in a movie, which means they can begin filming a Spider-Man film with these villains in it and just plan the release date for this movie 30 days after the release date on streaming. And it looks like that's what's going to happen for Venom and Null. Venom and Null are obviously the 2 main characters of Venom 3, The Last Dance. And that movie comes out next month in October. So a few months after it gets out of theaters, or maybe even less than that, it'll be on VOD and streaming. And then 30 days after that, Marvel can use it. Well, Spider-Man 4 is not coming out now until July of 2026, so they have plenty of time. So Spider-Man 4 is the perfect example of this new deal. Even if Sony uses a villain, for example, Null, they can still use that villain in the MCU. But here's the big question. Does Marvel have to act like it's the same character from the Sony Spider-Verse? Because in the case of Venom: The Last Dance and Spider-Man 4, it does seem like the Venom and Null that are going to be in Spider-Man 4 are the exact same characters that are going to be coming from the Sony Spider-Verse. So would that mean if Marvel Studios decided to use Kraven, would it have to be the Kraven from the Sony universe, or could they do their own take on it? That's kind of the only question we have right now, because otherwise it's simply a win for Marvel Studios. Everything that we've been hearing about the new negotiations for Spider-Man and Spider-Man characters in the MCU have all been pretty good, depending on how you view Spider-Man 4 being a multiverse film, because it kind of looks like Sony gets their way on that one. If they would have stuck to that original release date of June 2025, then yeah, it could have been a street-level grounded film, but now coming out in July of 2026, that's right between Avengers Doomsday and Secret Wars. There's really not too many ways that I could think of that it could be a pretty grounded story, especially if it's happening during the middle of the multiverse collapsing. But there is a thought on top of this news where Marvel Studios can essentially use who they want. The thought that Sony is actually getting rid of their own Sony Spider-Man universe, and that by essentially giving Marvel permission to use any of the characters that they want in Spider-Man's arsenal, Sony is kind of abandoning what they had set out to start, this Spider-Man universe that doesn't have Spider-Man in it. Perhaps they have realized that that simply doesn't work. These characters are only interesting because of Spider-Man. It's not that people don't care about the characters, but the connection to Spider-Man is really what makes these characters very interesting, unless they're insanely huge characters like Kingpin. But Sony could definitely license these characters to Marvel Studios, them make money off of it, and Marvel make money off of it, and they'll probably make more money than they would if they did solo films on these characters. Just look at Morbius, just look at Madam Web. Maybe Sony realized that, who knows? We did a full video on that yesterday, you can check it out, but be sure to subscribe to the channel so you don't miss out on any of the latest news in regards to the new Sony Marvel deal.
There you go, guys. Make sure to check them out. Warren, The Cosmic Wonder. What do you guys think about that? Huge Spider-Man 4 news. Yeah, I'm really happy about that, man. Finally, now we can get some. I mean, the Spider-Man movies have been good. You know what I mean? Because obviously Marvel has taken care of them. Even the one that Sony did with the Andrew Garfield and what is it? What's his name? You know what I mean? Those are still good movies. You know what I mean? But we have the MCU now. So in the MCU, we want to just go ahead and just bring everybody in. There's one universe to just have everybody. That way you can just combine the characters also. You know what I mean? Kingpin, for instance. Spider-Man villain, Marvel, you know, Avengers villain. You know what I mean? I mean, you could intertwine. You know, like they were saying before, when we have the X-Men. You know what I mean? When they do the X-Men story, when it's just the X-Men, I'm sure you'll see one or two Avengers in the X-Men once they start doing the X-Men saga. You know what I mean? Why? Because it's part of the universe. It's all one. You know what I mean? It's all one. Well, how are you not gonna see an Avenger if you're in you know what I mean? But let's see what happens, yo. But when it comes to the Spider-Man 4, I'm really happy we could finally see all these characters in the MCU. But that's the billion-dollar question, right? Are we gonna see the same characters? Like, do they only gotta use the same characters that was already established in Sony? You know what I mean? So obviously we got Michael Keaton as Falcon. I mean, as the Vulture. So we all know that he started in Marvel. But then we got, like he said, you know what I mean? We do have Kraven the Hunter, which is gonna be crazy, right? Because Kraven the Hunter, that actor, is Wanda's brother. He's he's Quicksilver. So he was the one that died in Age of Ultron, that actor. And then so what? So in one universe you're the Quicksilver, and in another universe you're Kraven the Hunter. I mean, hey, it could work, right? They're doing the multiverse, right? That's in one you're one and one in the other. So that's gonna be bugged out, guys. So comment below, let me know what you guys thought about that one. That's gonna be interesting, okay? But let me know what you guys thought about that Spider-Man 4 news. Really happy, all down in one universe. Let's fucking go. Alright, so. Alright, guys, that down. I think that's about it. That's about it when it comes to some Marvel news updates, guys. You know what I mean? We was able to check out the trailer to the Thunderbolts. Got to see breakdown another trailer of the Thunderbolts. Got to know that the Sentury had a little story, comic book story time. Now we know the origins of the Sentury. That's gonna be exciting. I just want Marvel to please, 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 not to fuck up the Sentury. You know what I mean? That is you see, man, that's an amazing character that I really want them to do it just like the comic books. So it's gonna be good. You know what I mean? And then you know, you already know the Spider-Man news, all the stuff that we have now. So I'm really excited about that, guys. Alright, but hey, I want to know your thoughts. Comment below. Let me know what you guys thought about this. Check it out, guys. If you guys like what you're seeing, do me a favor. If you're new to the channel, subscribe to the channel. If you like what you're seeing, smash that like. It does help out the channel. Ring the bell. It'll let you know when I got all types of videos and live streams, gaming streams coming your way. Alright, guys. So, and shouts out to everybody in the chat and in the comments. On that one, guys, this was dope. This was awesome. This has been another episode of Heroes and Villains Collectibles. I'm your boy, LC. Until next time, guys. Peace.